we're like 3 hours away, and you're like the next time zone. Good morning, everybody. It's the Tesla Tracker here with the great Mattsby, and we're live for a Tuesday show.
Yes, welcome.
And my voice is probably still going to break up, so I'll try not to talk too fast. But Matt?
Yeah, so indices, SPY still maintaining support here of the daily conversion line, 603.17. If that stays above, then this still has the opportunity to go higher. And QQQ, same situation. It's still day over day. It's doing very, very well. Has not even closed this daily gap here yet. So that still could be a possibility down there around 517. And IWM is just ranging, really. It's just stuck in between the two fibs, the 235 and the 244. So it's just looking for direction, maybe a one more time back test before ready to go higher. All right, and let's see what's going on. So I see some requests coming in with EOS and XRP. So yeah, I'll do XRP first, since I know a lot of people were worried about it last night. So I'll just put things into perspective again, like I usually do.
Oh no, it ran up 30% and it came down 33%.
Let's go to
Why is it crashing?
Yeah, like look at these green candles and look at this 17% red candle so far. So the goal has always been to try to stay above the 225.8877, and that's for a weekly close. And the week is not over; it just started. So there's 5 days left. It still could just turn into a wick and close back above. But let me show you something on linear scale, just to show you what really happened yesterday with the liquidation event. And linear scale is the 618. So all it did is go back down to the 209.345 and retest the fib below it, right? So got rejected by the 786, went back down to the 618. And it's you see stocks, you see crypto, you see everything do this time and time again. Once they get rejected by something, they go next fib level. And technically the 702 is not a fib level, it's just a halfway point. So yeah, it just went down to retest the 618. And so we'll watch that level now, right? If one level doesn't hold, then we watch the next. And so that is the 209.345. And one thing I wanted to point out is look happened yesterday with this 2021 high. It was a perfect back test, right? A perfect back test already. So it was 196, this high right here, and price got to, this high was 196.695, and yesterday got to 196 exactly. So it already did wick down and touch this wick. So the wicks touched, guys. The wicks touched. No. And yeah, don't cross the stream. So this is really ultra mega bullish. Like just a breakout of structure from 2021, and even a back test. Like I didn't think it's going to get down there personally. So this went deeper than I expected. But actually, when you look at a high time frame like this, a successful back test of a previous high is a very bullish thing. So regardless if it doesn't stay above that 225 I mentioned before, that's fine, because this is part of the process of building a foundation, building it at a higher level and going higher. So this doesn't matter to me. Like $2, $2.50, $2.40, $2.30, this whole range doesn't matter to me, because the bigger picture is what I'm here for. And I see the 8 to 9 to 10 to even higher price level. So this is still all part of the plan, still beautiful. It's a very beautiful chart. If you saw this on any other chart, you'd think it's really, really bullish. But since it's like XRP or Tesla, people always think it's bearish. So anyways, this is a huge development and I love it. And I think just give it enough time, and it's going to go much, much higher. So I'm not here for the short gains. I'm here for the long.
Yeah, who wants a $10,000 Cybertruck? Just buy 10,000, 9, 10, 12,000, $120,000. And while your XRP is getting more valuable, the Cybertruck price is coming down, and then you'll be able to pay for your Cybertruck and the insurance.
So one of the most beautiful cryptos charts, and all of crypto, really. It's just it's a breakout, it's a break of structure. It's just the kind of a formation you see when things are about to go higher. So we don't know when, but we do know this is building a base at a higher level, and this is gorgeous. So with that said, Tracker, do you have a XRP or EOS or whatever chart you want to show?
I'll go on to EOS. You're the master on XRP. I think anything else I put out would just be noise. So
all right. Well, you gotta share your chart first.
Oh gosh, darn it! Sorry, I'm a little rusty, out of my element here. My friend's house, and I'm so sorry that my audio is going to break up, and it's going to be weird because I kept hearing Matt's audio break up too. So I know it's reciprocal. All right, here is EOS. Completed this ABC down, is now in a larger degree. Like this was, I was tracking 5 waves here. Now all this is wave 1, all this is wave 2, and we're now in a larger impulsive wave going up. Skipping to the end, it basically goes to, I think, $9.33 in about, it looks like I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit. I had 385 days, but just based on, I must snug it all the way up to here. So that would be in about 140 days. So that looks like that's April, mid-April, a little bit. Forget about the timing. Basically, it's going to $4.39 next, with a test back to right about where it is right now, this 382 level at $3.23. I gotta make this bigger for you guys to see it. I'm sorry. This is made for when I post these as static images. So anyway, take your screenshot. These are my projections for EOS price. So after 439 and then back test to 323, it goes on to $6.28 with a back test to $5.11 and then on up to $9.33. And that's what my Elliott Wave pinball tells me on EOS.
Yeah, EOS looks really bullish right now. Really bullish. I like it. Let's do Tesla. You got some Tesla for us?
Absolutely. So Tesla, this is great. I posted yesterday. I pulled this fib extension. I'm sorry, fib retracement down. First, I had it to here, and look, price did come right to Matt's. Not my 76.4%. Came down to Matt's 78.6%. Right here. And then after that, I pulled the fib down a little bit lower just in case it was going to keep going. And said, well, look, at this point, if it can get back above, if it goes any lower than 375.55, my 76.4 is where I saw it going to. And we never did that. It never broke below Matt's 78.6. So up and up it went. And let's see, that's the market close. No, these are different. Yeah, these are 15-minute candlesticks. Yeah, so here we are now. So we're above this 390.17 level. So we're good. It's just going to go up and make new higher highs now. I don't see it. It was just like a big market bit of craziness. My friend Alberto F. Newman even tried to warn me in the morning. He said things look really terrible in the options market. Like he hadn't seen this since like the year 2000 or whatever, where it just there just weren't enough people involved in the on the put side. I can't remember how he said it. I posted it anyway if you want to read it, but he explained it really. It's going to come down, and I should have shouted it from rooftops, but I just kind of quietly reposted it instead. But it seemed like it was very prescient. Anyway, Tesla will make new higher highs. Look for it to retest the 404.80. My chart still is this one right here, where I think we got these monthly pivots all day, right? So all month. 392.53 is the R1. 439.63 is the R2. And the R3 sits up there at 5. That's for the month of December. I think to get 487 or 481, I did using Cat's chart, where he used Matt's retracement fibs, and I basically just copied this fractal to here and for 487. And then also on my TSLL chart, predicted like 50% higher from like down here, and that calculated out to 481. So I got some confluence between both of those. So I feel 1 and 487 possibly before the end of the month. And that is what I see for Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah, for me on Tesla, I can see that exactly what you said. It just went down to retest the 378.85 on linear scale here. It was a perfect back test because it went to 378.85. It went down to 378.01. So perfect back test. And not only that, when I put on the fancy little Bollinger Band, it still maintained that as a support. Right? You can see that the top of the Bollinger Band was 388.96. And it closed at 389.79. So this weekly Bollinger Band is still riding up as support week over week. And until that trend changes, I don't really know if it's going to slow down. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this expanding Bollinger Band. This number changes throughout the day all the time. So just got to keep an eye on that level. But so far, this does not look like any kind of slowdown. It just looks like a successful back test. Right there. And when you look at the log scale chart here, just I want to take stuff off. You can see it's really kind of almost all-time highs on the log scale chart. You can see it's actually above this wick tier here too at 384.29 and right there. And then it's approaching these wicks here. There's really been no weekly candle close as high as this one since the previous all-time highs. So this is looking like it's going to break out sooner than later. And I kind of agree with Tracker that possibly this month, maybe even this week. It just got to follow that Bollinger Band, see if it wants to keep expanding on the weekly chart. And so far, so good. So Tesla, super, ultra, mega bullish. And I love it.
Yeah. And we've just break higher without testing back. Let's see.
Yeah, well, Palantir, I see a request. That one's next, actually.
Okay. But just in regards to Tesla, even that 481, 487 top I'm talking about, it's not a top. It's just the next resistance is going to hit. Then it might consolidate just a little bit before moving even higher. So I'm not by any means saying that it's going to stop at 47 and that's where we're going to be stuck for the next.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be resistance levels.
Yeah, and if you ever want to see that really cool thing that Cat, if you want to see that really cool thing that Cat does, where he puts the Bollinger Bands on, and you can look at the bottom Bollinger Band and watch it just fall away. Just make sure you have it on log scale to be able to see that. But as long as you see that log scale,
and the monthly chart.
Yeah, and the monthly chart, and breaking it down and away.
Yeah,
that's where you're going to see that on the monthly log scale.
Yep. And also. Okay, going to Palantir here. I know people are super worried. There's people posting on X now that it's a game over time. It's not going to go higher time. But one thing I wanted to show you is that this is right in the upper Bollinger Band as well until now, but it still has opportunity to do a wick and still close above 76.49. It still has the opportunity because week after week after week after week after week, it did go below the upper Bollinger Band throughout the week, but then it closed above every single week. Even last week, it went really deep below the Bollinger Band and closed above. So this, if the trend continues, this has the potential to even go back and close above the 76.49. So I'm watching that level, but I'm going back to my linear scale fib, and no matter what, this looks like the 69.15 is going to be your support. So people always love to like doom or give bearish thoughts about something. I'm all about one level at a time. It's got to prove it to me. So this is support until it proves otherwise. And 69.15 is that target. What happened? What happened on log scale though? It just got rejected by the 786. Or sorry, the 1.272, the 78.13. That's all I got rejected by up there. And we can see perfectly that it still has also an opportunity to just turn into a wick and even close back above that 78.13 as well. So don't count Palantir out until it proves it to us. And I still think there's a lot more gas in the tank on this one. So this is still a very super ultra mega bullish chart as well. It's just had a little bit of sell off after it gapped up above the 78.13.
Yeah. And if you show my screen, I'm just going to show this one thing. It's the Palantir chart on the monthly log scale. See how I had a good log scale? And look at how the bottom Bollinger Band is just like, so, you know, here we are on log scale monthly. And yeah, we're the price is floating above the Bollinger Band on the log scale. Here's your Bollinger Band down here, and here's price way up there. And all the way down there bottom, it just keeps going. Is way, way deep. So as long as this doesn't, you know, curve up and start to come back, Palantir will keep expanding to the top side. That's all I want to show about that.
Yeah, very good. And yeah, that's just more proof that it's not really ready to slow down just yet. There's a lot more gas in the tank.
Let's see. Let me do DXYZ
So
here.
Yeah, why not? Do you still have your position?
I sold it because I thought I was going to get a test back, and it did not happen. I thought it was gonna. I sold at 56.65, thinking it was going to come back to 41.62, and it did not. It just kept going and going all the way up to 30% higher that same day I sold it. And then yesterday it came back down to only 50.91 for the 61.8%. Now we're riding back on this 4-hour Ichimoku baseline. I think that's it. I bought some more. This little wick down here, I bought a little bit more just in pre-market. I'm back to like, I don't know, I could afford 390 shares. And I bought a share yesterday. So 391 shares of DXYZ right now is all I've got. But, you know, I'll just ride it on up because I see it going all the way up to $114.54. I don't know, maybe tonight. GME is going to report after market close. I've got GME into the, I'm rolling the dice along there with Roaring Kitty. And if that goes up big, then tomorrow I can sell off my GME and then put it right back into DXYZ again, which I probably will do.
Oh, nice.
Which means I guess I should say, what is GME doing? Anyway, DXYZ, I think it's done. It's the wave 3 is done. Wave 4 is already done. Let's look at wave 2. Wave 2 is kind of short, only because, well, no, I guess all this is kind of wave 2. It's hard to say. The theory of alternation says that if the wave 2 is short, then the wave 4 will be longer. If the wave 2 is long, the wave 4 will be short. I guess I've got it drawn. It looks like this wave 4 is going to be pretty short, but it could still go out sideways a little bit before going up. $114 in possibly just 8 more days. This was 9 days yesterday. So DXYZ, GME, I'm just going to quickly skip to this and show you it's the same chart that I drew a long time ago. You can see now on the weekly chart, we're up to 69% bankers and whales, no retail in green here. So very bullish for this. And it's hitting up on the underside of its Bollinger Band as it expands. My next target is $71.09, 71.09. So, and that's all the way down here. You know, that's more than twice. I'd love to see the 4,200 shares I just bought double, and then I'll sell them and then not look back. Same chart I've been showing you guys for weeks. Same exact same chart. All right, back to you, Matt.
All right. Yeah. So what's next on the menu? Oh, I see some crypto here. I'm going to do a couple of those real quick, starting with ADA Cardano. Hold on. Let me just find my chart first.
Sure.
All right. So yeah, Cardano, what happened yesterday? Well, I already switched it over.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I saw that.
We can go to your TSL first. Okay. ADA is basically looking like it's just backtesting levels, right? So currently it's still the 618 is still the goal for Sunday to close above 112.88. But in the meantime, it could even retest a little bit lower down to the 87 or even the 50%, the 82. So this is still fine, right? It's a big breakout. It's just a little bit of a cool down until it's trying to go higher. So let's see if Sunday can get back above that 112.88 for a possibility to continue higher. And I see a COTI as well. And within the same situation here, it's just the 50% level. It's wicking below a little bit, and we can put on the Ichimoku here, and it's just backtesting the conversion line and the baseline and even the bottom of the cloud. So it's just a normal little backtest going on before trying to get back up above certain fib levels and then build a base and go higher. So the goal is getting on top of that 1.1582 to continue to the 22. So none of these charts are broken, guys. None of them for crypto, none of them for Bitcoin miners, none of them for anything are broken. They're just backtesting levels, which is normal after you have a big breakout. So I think people sometimes just need to zoom out to look at the big picture, and the big picture is still super ultra mega bullish. Zoom out. All right, you can show your TSLL.
Okay. I read Fat Chin wrote Tracker, Palantir log scale Bollinger Band is comparable to Bitcoin log scale Bollinger Band. That's pretty cool. I'll have to look at that later. Here's my TSLL chart. It really hasn't changed in a while. Oh, these numbers are kind of small, but all you can see right here, 39.64 is my target. That's this 223.6% fib extension, 191, or even all the way up to the 2618 for 45.58. So my target is 39.64, but $42 to $45 is possible, is what I wrote. Basically, you know, my precise target is 39.64, but really, in reality, it could hit anywhere inside this box. And that's my TSLL. It's looking really good. You know, it's been just riding right along this 4-hour Ichimoku conversion. It's doing great.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I do TIGR real quick?
I see a. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to show my TIGR chart. This is something that Kat turned us on to with a special video to Matt's Patreon. The morning after he said that this would be something he really wanted to look at buying, it shot up 15% in pre-market that morning. I bought a whole bunch of it down here, right around 7. Market opened. Now we're back down to $7. You can get this for the same amount that I bought it for right now. But I see this going to easily, we're going to move these around now, easily 100% higher to 14. I got to make these bigger, sorry, 1425. And then test back, usually it's 764,382, so back to 980, which will hurt. So anymore. Yeah, and then on up to 2145, back to $17, and then finishes out. If it does an impulsive wave, it goes to $33.10. Now, there's a few different ways to look at this, though, because it's also basically doing a corrective. Let's see if to show on the weekly. It's doing a corrective where, you know, its all-time high was up here at $38.50. So basically, if we just look at those, 61.8% fib target would be 24.68, or maybe the 76.4 for 29.96. Anyway, you slice it, impulsive or corrective back up. It's got legs to go much higher. So I highly recommend, not financial advice, but I recommend TIGR or more waypoints. As price begins to develop, I'll be able to rule out whether it's more corrective or more impulsive. Here off the chart. Let's see. What was I supposed to do? Not TIGR. What do you want to do next?
I see some questions about Bitcoin, so I'm going to go back to crypto here. Just looking, some of the questions I see, what's going to happen with the rest of the year, or is Bitcoin going to break out at all? Well, I think probably not. Like, I think maybe it's just going to stay in a range, and this range could be the one that's showing, right? And this is the 1.414, the 1.618 on linear scale, but I showed before the log scale fib, it did hit the 1.272 log scale fib and got rejected. So this is your 103.611. That's your resistance, and I don't know if it's going to break this year. Right? I think maybe it's just going to cool off, stay in a range for some time until it's really ready to break out. Just expect things maybe to trade sideways a little bit. Maybe altcoins can just trade sideways a little bit too, but expect after a cool down that things will continue their massive uptrend next year. So I don't know. It's got to prove it to me either way, but right now I just see things are at resistance. And when we put on the, let's see, let's go here. When we when we put on the Bollinger Band here, we can see that it is starting to go underneath it as well. So that 102.856 is going to act as more resistance up top too as well. I wanted to show you is this channel that I have been showing to my Patreon people all the time. It's building a base, guys. A previous resistance. Let me just zoom out so you can get the whole picture here of this beautiful channel. You can see how perfect it is through each one as a support and resistance. And we're at a new level. We're at a new inflection point that basically channel used to be a support, broke down, right? It was a resistance, broke down, then now it's flipping it to support. So people that think Bitcoin's going to collapse, I don't. And the bottom of that channel does sit at 93,000. So yes, it can go back down there, scare more people, but I still think, what does it look like it's doing? It's building a base on top of this new channel where the top of the channel sits at 132,000. So that was also a previous important zone too. That 130,000 here, if you go to the left, you can see it was a support, a support, a support, a resistance, a support, right? So this is how these channels work. Once they're in a new trading range, in a bull market, they continue higher, but in a bear market, they continue lower. So this is a bull market, and I still think it's going to build a base and continue higher. So what's my Bitcoin end of year 2024? I think it's probably going to be around 100,000. All right. With that said,
all right, I've got AMD for. I think AMD is a good one to cover because it presents a good opportunity. I think here. Get rid of. We don't need these here. Okay, so it's basically here's your larger degree, like from the beginning of time. Wave 1, wave 2. It's now in its wave 3. It's wave 3 of 3 because here's wave 3 sub 1, wave 3 sub 2. And my target is $298.84 next for AMD. We're down here at $130. That's more than double. It's 141% higher actually, about from where it is right now, or where it closed yesterday. So it looks like it's going to get a slightly extended wave 2, but once it starts to go, it'll probably go really fast. So 298. And it should give us a back test of 255.85 and then top out in this wave 5 cycle at $480.91. And that's my AMD technical analysis.
Yeah, for me,
down.
AMD actually is. For me, AMD is still fine, and I am personally waiting for this little wick below 130, maybe to get to that log scale 786, the 129.88. But this is fine. It's just fine. It's building. It's kind of building a base. Since July, it's been in this zone, right? It did go up, get rejected, come back down, but it's still making a higher low from here. Like still the high time frame when you zoom out, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. The market structure is okay. It's just the short term is lower, lower high, lower low, right? But the overall trend since the bottom of 2022 is still higher lows, higher lows. So we got to just look at the zoom out, look at the higher trend. And because of that higher trend, we can see that, yeah, the 129 is good. We can even smack on a 100-month or 100-week moving average. And look at that. It's at 32.34. It's a little bit below it right now, but this is a week moving average. The candles are not closed yet. This could just turn into a wick and close above everything and resume its trend back up to the 140s and higher. So it does look like it's in the middle of a bottoming process. It has been in the bottoming process, I think, for a while now, for over a month, right? Just trying to find this new higher low. And whether that's this week or not, it still looks pretty convincing that this support zone should be pretty solid.
Yeah, AMD, we're bullish on it. Let's see. I want to show Google just because I want to mention the fact that some news came out yesterday that they have got a quantum computing chip up and running. This is a lot earlier than I thought they would have something like this that they're announcing. I don't know if it or what if they're if it's still in experimental stages or whatever. But Google having a quantum computing chip that's operating is pretty big news. Let's see. As far as technical analysis on its price action goes, I see that from basically the annals of time to here is your wave 1, wave 2. Now we're in wave 3. Sub 1 is done, and it's in this wave sub 2. Now looking for this 382 down $135, which will look devastating for Google. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just going to hold this 50% level right here as support, because it did kind of dip below the 50%. And now it's back over the 618 again. You'll know for sure if it gets over $187 that the wave 2 is done. Maybe, so I'm going to start thinking this wave 2 is done. My next target higher would be the 1382 fib at 200 fib at 220.25, and you can take your screenshot right there. This tops out at $409.76. It was, don't worry about the timing because timing's hard. I don't know if it'll really do that or not in 769 days, but there you go. Look at all the price targets are on the right here. So maybe it's done with wave 2 and it's heading for 272.63 next. But if it breaks 61.8% fib again below 167.87, then start looking for it to test 151. And if it gets below that, then it'll definitely go for this $135 at the 38.2. But again, I can't quite see how it's going to happen with Google unless something devastating happens. Some sort of catalyst that makes it seem crazy.
Yeah, I have a Google chart too. So it's gapping up, and I have this fib from the 2022 high to the low, and it's gapping up above this 1.272, the 178. So that is pretty big news. Why? Because it's been resistance for a long time. Ever since it gapped down, it broke down in July of 2020, claimed it until now. So this is probably enough to flip it back to support, I would say. So that is good for resuming the uptrend, right? What was once a very boring stock, and I called it a very boring stock, it's now maybe not so boring anymore, right? So possibly if it comes back down to 178, that could be your support for continuation to the 190s and even to the 1.618 fib above at the 219. So yeah, this chart is officially back, I think, in bull mode. And as long as this closes the week out above that fib level, then I think it's going to trend higher.
Very nice. Excited about Google again, even though their motto is no longer "Don't be evil."
Yeah,
I really liked it when they had that motto.
Let me see. I missed a SMCI one. Let's see. Go to SMCI because it's kind of dropping a little bit pre-market. But I have an arrow there because it's just the 100-week moving average. I think I mentioned this before, that's the target. That's the target to pay attention to right now, right this week, and nothing else matters, right? Get back above it for this weekly candle close, then that'll be 2 consecutive weeks in a row above it. That'll be starting to build a base back on top of it, just like nothing ever happened before, just like it was before. It was building a base there. And a V bottom back above. So this is looking likely to still resume its uptrend, but this is the focus. Got to watch this 42.82 for a Friday weekly candle close. And if that happens, then this has potential to go higher and higher and higher into the 60s and maybe back to the 80s, right? So crucial level to hold, I think. If it does go close below it, then it could be stuck lower for some time. But the goal is maintain this level and just ignore pre-market. Let's just see how it closes on Friday.
I want to do this Elf Beauty thing. I'm just kind of making some adjustments here to this chart. Elf Beauty is pretty wild. Let's see, am I up? Yes, great. It had an all-time high of 221.83. And why do I have this backwards? So it's got support at, this $100.10 level. And now we're back up to 140.30. So basically what I did was from the annals of time to wave 1, wave 2, my next target above, why do I have 100%? That is crazy. Let's bring this down. It's still, but it's a huge chart. I think this could go to 264 next. Let's see. It's stuck inside this triangle, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could run up to 200 and then crazy again. But if it doesn't, Elf Beauty's just nuts. Try a small position in it because I think it could go like just crazy up to $530. Air. That's at $140 right now. So that's now we're at 270% higher than it is right now. So they're doing something right over there, Elf Beauty. I like it. Take a small position. Not financial advice, but I think it could go.
Yeah, I think
go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, I just want to show mine real quick. So this is an example of what I was talking about, the SMCI. So it did go below the 100 and now it reclaimed it, right? And then it also reclaimed the arc above. So I was really cautious here before, thinking it's going to go lower, but it just reverses trend. And finally, last week it closed back above both levels and even maintaining both levels as support. So yeah, it does have potential to maybe have this 137 zone be a support now and possibly go up to the 160s. And ultimately, to get to your levels, though, that you're mentioning, Tracker, I think it needs to break above this 168. Again, it was a previous, it's a very important zone past. And if 168 can get broken, then I think, yes, it can go much, much higher. And yeah, even up to your 500 level up here, because that's around where the next level is too. So it's possible, but one level at a time. It's got to maintain this base, and then it's got to flip this 168 to support in order to get there. But with that said, I think I am out of time. I got to jump on my private live stream.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Mattsby and his voice of reason, one level at a time.
We will be live tonight.
Yes, the Triumvirate rides again.
Yeah.
Live featuring Canton's Cat, the great Mattsby, and myself.
Yeah, so see us there tonight live. It'll be recorded as well, but have a good trading day for Tuesday, December 10th.
Yep. Good luck, everybody. Don't be fearful. Buy when others are fearful. Sell when others are greedy.
Exactly. See you guys.